Hey beautiful people, what is up? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to today's video where I'm going to be giving you guys my first impressions thoughts on the brand. Well, not even new because there's a new palette that just came out, but I'll be giving you guys my thoughts on the Ensley Reign Underland palette. Now, here's something that you should know about this sort of intro and outro. I accidentally deleted my original intro and outro for this video, so I'm redoing it, and I had those looks filmed a long time ago, which is why you'll see that the look that I'm wearing now is not in any of the looks. And why it might seem a little bit not cohesive. But that's neither here nor there. Let's dive into the video. So the Underland palette was actually the Halloween release from Ensley Reign Cosmetics. It has 15 mesmerizing shades in velvety mattes and hypnotic shimmers. And on the website it says that you can dive into a kaleidoscope of multichrome, duochrome, and holochrome pigments. Because I'm redoing the intro and the outro for this, I don't have any of the product details really, but I know that Ensley Reign palettes are made in China, and on the box here all it says is that it has 16.5 grams of product. So I'm not sure what the shelf life of this is, or if it's vegan or cruelty free. And lastly, this palette does retail for $70, but there are a number of people who have affiliate codes with the brand, so you can definitely get a discount with it. Now, let me just say this. I complain about Ensley Reign pricing all day, every day. But this, I knew I was going to buy this, like, immediately. Like, there was no world in which I was not purchasing this palette, because this was like the color story of my dreams. It had sort of the beautiful bright red shades that I absolutely love, but it was really grungy. I don't know, something about this just spoke to my whole soul and being, and I decided that I needed to pick this up, and I have zero regrets. Now, you'll hear my final thoughts at the end of the video, but I just wanted to say that this is a stunning palette and it absolutely caught my eye, so I knew that I needed to pick this one up. So now that you guys have seen the swatches, heard a little bit about the product details, I'm actually going to dive into 3 eye looks, then I'll come back at the end and give you guys my final thoughts. Okay, I'm so excited to dive into this. This truly is like the palette of my dreams. So let's go ahead. Now, one thing I will flag, you know, there are no light or even really mid-tone, I guess. Some of them are mid-tone shades, but all of these shades here are dark, they're rich, they're grungy. So in terms of a transition shade, there's not much, but that is a true test to see, like, if I were to apply these darker grungy shades, can I blend them out to get something that works as a transition shade? Now, Patricia does that really well. If this is your first time watching me, when I say Patricia, I'm talking about Pat McGrath. I realize I say it all the time, and not everybody probably knows, but Patricia is Pat McGrath for me. I don't know why, I don't know how it started. I don't even know if that's her full name, but that's what we call her here. So the true test is, can these darker grungy mattes actually blend out to be transition shades? So I'm of course going to be playing in the reds, because you guys know a red hate to see me coming. So let's go ahead and start with this shade right here in the center of the palette. That is called Wicked Rose, and I want to put that into the crease, and we're going to use that as a transition shade and see how we can blend it out. Okay. Oh, she's blending. One thing I will say is that Ensley Reign has a stunning matte formula. And for me, y'all know mattes can make or break an entire palette. So when I first tried the brand, I was really impressed with the mattes. It was such a beautiful formulation. They blend themselves, they blend quickly, but they still have nice punch and kick to them. This is diffusing so beautifully. Oh my God. Oh. Now, you know, once I start to sing, your girl is shooketh. From that, we ended up here. It's beautiful. And I think I could continue to diffuse this. I'm just gonna stop there for now, move over to this eye. And today's look, I think I want to keep somewhat simple. And that's simply because I am having a little bit of a reset day today. What is a reset day, you ask? Well, basically every single room in my apartment is giving me anxiety. Like, dead ass. It's just a mess. It's not dirty, but it's not clean. Like, things are just disorganized, and I do need to throw away some things. So because everything's kind of all over the place, I haven't been able to focus. Like, to be quite frank, I woke up this morning thinking that I was gonna go on a 3-hour long hike, in Jersey, but I couldn't get past the fact that my apartment looked like crazy and that I just didn't have the time. And in order for me to really be like comfortable doing any extracurricular activities, I have to get my living space to look like a living space again. Next, we're gonna go into Nonsense. This looks like a deep brown, but it also looks like it might have a little bit of red in there too. Oh, that's perfection. And you know, in addition to me needing to clean up my space, I'm also on day 2 of my period. Sorry if that's TMI, but you know, it's biology. Deal with it. You know what I mean? But if you are like me, and I think for a lot of women, day 2 is when you are, you know, at your heaviest. And if you are a hiker, you already know that access to bathrooms are kind of non-existent. So you might find a trail where there is either a bathroom facilities at the beginning of the trail or a porta potty, both of which, you know, the cleanliness and the upkeep can be questionable. And after that, like, you're kind of like SOL while you're on the trail. So because this was going to be a 3-hour hike, there are no bathrooms other than at the beginning, and you just never really know with your flow on day 2, I was like, you know what, Jamila, how about you sit this one out? I felt really bad though, because I had been really looking forward to this hike. I genuinely was excited to go, mainly because I missed the last one. Like, I didn't get a chance to go on the last group hike because I'd gotten COVID around that time. And, you know, not only was I feeling like shit, but we don't be out here infecting other people. We don't do that. So I missed the first one, and I really, really wanted to go to this one. This is one that I think will have such beautiful views, and it's a little bit difficult, so I was going to be able to challenge myself. But I gotta clean this place up. I genuinely have to clean this place up, and like, yeah, I really needed bathrooms, and that's just not a thing. Somehow this has turned into a chatty get ready with me. Okay, so of course, you know, we're going immediately into Red Queen. I'm starting with a brush because I do think that the Ensley Reign eyeshadow formula is beautiful and applies well with both a finger and a brush. So like, if you really didn't want to go in with your fingers, you don't have to, because at least from what I've used, they apply stunning with either or. So finger is kind of unnecessary. But just so we can see the difference, oh my god, picking it up with my finger, I'm just gonna plop it in on this lid so you can see the difference in application. Obviously with a finger application, you typically will get just a ton more punch and pigments and impact. See that compared to that? But I fully recognize not everybody wants to touch their shadows. I'm tempted to put this one in there, but no, let's go with the bronze. Let me not get too crazy. So the bronzy shade right next to it is called Surreal. Oh, that is beautiful. That is so pretty. This one does feel a little bit more emollient than the last shade, but not in like a super greasy way. That being said, I do not have any issues with creasing typically, like, and I don't have oily or hooded lids, so, you know, emollient shadows don't really affect me. If you do have those issues, I definitely recommend you check out Bad to the Brow, Millie. She has both oily, hooded, creased eyelids, so she does a really good job at like explaining how the shadows wear on her. So I think that's a good point of reference. But oh, this is like just a dream. Okay, let me go ahead, clean this up as I usually do, and I'll come back and show you guys the final look. Okay, this is the final look. Y'all, this is the look of my dreams. Like, honestly, if I had to describe me as an eyeshadow look, it would be this red-orange, glorious goddess fieriness. It's perfection. Like, Okay, so I'm of course gonna do a second look for you guys, maybe a third, but I'm gonna, you know, wrap this one up here because I do need to go clean up my apartment, like I said. And I also need to pop by Target to return something, and I gotta pick up some pants because some exciting news for you guys that I'll probably announce in another video. Anyways, let's dive into the second look. Okay, so let's get started on the second look. I'm actually gonna jump into this sort of blue teal-ish shade. This is called Dreadful Dreams, and I want to put that into the crease as my transition shade. Again, with similar to what I did with the first look, this is a really deep, rich shade, so I'm gonna try to blend that out as much as possible, diffuse it as much as possible, so that we can get like a really nice gradient. I was debating going in with the deeper blue, but I think I want to go in with the purple. You know, I was really hoping for like a neutral leaning look today because I'm actually going out to meet my girlfriends. We're just doing a little bit of shopping or window shopping, who knows. Either way, we're heading to the outlet mall to do a little bit of hopefully handbag shopping. And I didn't want to go too crazy because as much as I like colorful shadow, I don't typically like wear it out and about. And that's just because I don't know what I'm wearing, and it's easier to just like throw on something simple, which is what I'm kind of hoping to do. But anyways, I think that this is going a lot more colorful than I intended, but not surprisingly because this isn't exactly a neutral palette. Wait till this world gets through with you. You've got so much more learning to do. So this is blending together so pretty though. Now that shade was Cheshire's Kiss, and I actually want to go in with Beheaded, which is a purpley bronzy holochrome shade. Is it a holochrome or a duochrome? It looks like a holochrome. Anyways, we're just gonna put that. Oh, that's stunning. I'm putting that into the center of the eye. Mainly because I'm debating whether or not I go in with a second color in the front of the eye. A little bit of blue. I haven't swatched this palette yet, so sometimes when I don't swatch a palette before I start playing in it, like it's harder for me to see which shades I want to pick, especially if they're like holochromes or duochromes or any shade that might have a little bit of a shift, because sometimes, you know, it looks one way in the pan and then when you swatch it out you're like, oh, that is not the color I thought it was. So for example, this shade is what I kind of am thinking about putting in the inner part of the eye. This seems like it might be too much, but this one, which is like a ooh, wait, hold up now. So this shade is Shatter Looking Glass. And then we have Wicked Wildflowers. It might actually, oh, these are so pretty. So we have Shattered Looking Glass. This is a beautiful bluish holochrome, but definitely has like a ton of silver in there. And what's the name of the other one? Oh wow. Okay, this one's definitely pretty red, pretty pink. This one is the Wicked Wildflowers. So I think Wicked Wildflowers would actually be really nice here because it's like pinky, almost purpley, but because we have that blue transition shade, I really think I should go in with this one. Yeah, let's do this one. So we're gonna go in with Shattered Looking Glass. And we're gonna put that into the front part of the eye. It's so easy for you to wiggle your finger at me, but you don't know what I've now abandoned any sense of believing that this is a neutral look whatsoever. I don't know why I thought that. Since, I mean, I started the look off with a blue transition shade and said, oh, this is gonna be neutral and simple. Okay, you guys see the vision. Let me go clean, blend everything together, all that fun jazz, and then I'll come back and show you guys the final look.
I get my hopes up every time, and I don't wanna be let down each road to find. I just wish I'd seen the price tag for my heart breaking. Was it worth all that waiting when I always knew just how I felt? Yeah, I'm looking back at the past and I feel regret. Don't wanna walk on the block, see where we met. Try to forget that you went on with someone else instead. Maybe it's better if I never love, so I don't have to open up, and you don't have to lose my trust every time. Why am I always getting so attached when I know that we're gonna crash? Now I wish I could turn you back into someone I never had. You were different from the rest, 'cause you didn't hide imperfections from the edge. Yeah. Bet you don't even love you half as much as I want to. You're right, yeah. I'm looking back at the past and I feel regret. Don't wanna walk on the block, see where we met. Try to forget that you went on with someone else instead. Maybe it's better if I never love, so I don't have to open up, and you don't have to lose my trust every time. Why am I always getting so attached when I know that we're gonna crash? Now I wish I could turn you back into someone I never had. I can't pretend I don't need you. I can't pretend I don't love you. I can't pretend I don't miss your touch. I want you so bad. I can't go cry on your shoulder. Feel safe with you when I'm older. Just know I tried to come back for you. I came back for you. Maybe it's better if I never love, so I don't have to open up.
So now that you guys have seen the demo, I think you know how I feel about this palette. I absolutely love this palette. And one thing I will say is that every time I dive more and more into the Ensley Reign ecosystem or the Ensley Reign catalog, I fall more and more in love with the brand. And the pricing just kind of goes out the window. There are so many good makeup brands, both indie and mainstream, on the market. But when it comes to quality, I'm not gonna lie, y'all, the Ensley Reign quality is impeccable. Everything from the mattes, which are pigmented yet blendable, and they just work so well, they basically blend themselves, to the shimmers, which are super impactful, not too creamy, and also offer a little bit of mix and variety in terms of texture. So some are a little bit chunkier, some are a little bit smoother. I just think that it's like such an amazing formula. But taking the formula aside, because like I said, there's so many brands with beautiful formulas on the market, the color stories that they generate, Lord Jesus, Father, put a hand on 2 foot and a pinky toe. Amen. Hallelujah. I just want to say that the vision that the owner or whoever it is that's putting together these color stories is what keeps pulling me in. Because it's one thing to have a good formula, but if the color story looks like chaos and I don't understand it, I don't care to purchase the palette. But they consistently give us color stories that are just stunning. I think that this was an amazing release for Halloween. Most Halloween palettes tend to give us purples and orange, and I'm just like, we're not doing that no more. But this one gave us grunge. It was really on theme with the Underland packaging, and it just felt a little bit more versatile. And even though the mattes here were definitely on the deeper, grungier side, like I said, they have an excellent matte formula, so you can blend them out so that they are more transition shades, build them up for depth, or you can go into another palette if you want. You can do so many things with this palette. And this was one that I actually had to be like, you know what, girl, put it down. Go use something else. You have so much other palettes that you need to work through. But it is a beautiful color story, and I also appreciate the fact that this is much smaller than their typical palettes. And even though it is still pricey in terms of overall pricing, I like that this was so curated that it felt like it gave us everything we needed in just that. Nothing more, nothing less, nothing extra. So, would I recommend this palette? Abso-freaking-lutely. I think it's beautiful. It is my palette. The palette of my dreams. I don't know about your dreams, but for me, it is the palette of my dreams. So I would 100% recommend it. Again, and I've said this in many videos, I acknowledge that Ensley Reign pricing is a lot. So it really does depend on you and what your budget looks like and whether or not you want to invest your money this way. I have no regrets picking this up, and quite frankly, I have no regrets in any of the Ensley Reign palettes that I've purchased. I actually really do enjoy them, and the fact that I'm using them means that it's actually been pretty worth the money that I've invested into the brand so far. And I look forward to seeing what else they have. That new palette that they just released, y'all. Oh, child, y'all know I'm gonna buy that. Anyways, I want to end it here and ask you guys, did you pick up the Underland palette? What you think about it? How are you guys feeling about Ensley Reign as a brand? For me, it's becoming one of my priority brands. So I want to know, are y'all feeling the same? Because it's shifting for me. But put all of that in the comments below. And that being said, I do want to thank you guys so much for watching for today's video. If you don't know what to comment, as always, leave a good old orange heart. You know, we love to see it, and it helps the algorithm gods. You know what I mean? As always, I appreciate you all so much more than you know. I hope you're having a great day, a great week whenever you're watching this, and I'll catch you guys in my next one. Bye!